finance system?
Islamic finance in Malaysia is highly regulated. The central bank effort, to contain prudent lending by the banking company is excellent. Prudential regulation by the central bank has been overwhelming, and therefore we see that there is no traces of subprime lending by banks to the customer. Banks are very careful about collaterals and about guarantees, about asset quality, and Bank Negara's supervisory processes are very intense, and I presume that this is one of the reasons why Malaysia has been able to
lead the world.
Yes, to prevent any unfortunate events.
Having said that, where does Malaysia stand as compared to other banking jurisdictions offering Islamic banking and finance? For example, in Asian region, Singapore, Indonesia, or even compared to the Middle East, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, or even compared to Europe. Where does Malaysia stand in terms of...
Malaysia's position is very unique because we are heavily retail based, in the sense that most of the banking companies here are commercial banks. So meaning that it is highly retail oriented, and compared to banks in let's say in Singapore, which are basically investment banking, banks in the Middle East are basically investment banking, and therefore our products are much more richer.
Products, really?
Yes, richer. When it comes to asset financing, we are a bit more innovative compared to the rest of the world. So in a sense that, but then when there is a need to go into investment banking, we can see how well the Islamic bank perform. Islamic banks, as a bank, as a commercial bank, they can come up to become arranger of sukuk, for example. Right. Apart from giving financing to customer, to the household, apart from doing retail banking and SME banking, they can also take part in sukuk issuances, which is, it provide this so-called universal banking, experience to Islamic bank in Malaysia.
What are the issues that you think are stumbling blocks to Malaysia taking the leadership globally in Islamic finance?
Number one, it has to be the economic development of the country. The country must be buoyant and develop progressively. The standard of living of the people must be good. So based on economic growth, because with economic growth we have higher demand for goods and services, and therefore a high demand for financing for banking services. And so in a sense that when Malaysia's economy grows faster than the rest of the world, then so does the Islamic banking transaction. But then what we want to see in Malaysia is the so-called leadership role in innovation, especially in facilitating the initiation of partnership financing in Islamic banking, or the initiation of through sale financing, like what I have mentioned earlier. We know now that banks are not interested to buy the asset directly from the vendor because of the capital issue, the tax issue, the risk issue. But then, to some extent, the bank should know that if they actually do the through sale, the product can be entirely different from what is available today, and maybe that the yield from the product will be much higher, and then the return to depositors will be good also, and that will increase the deposit base and so on. But it seems that the interest among the Islamic bankers to do this sort of alternative to the current asset financing is still a question mark.
Question mark.
Yes.
On that note, thank you very much, Professor Saiful.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you at the Capital Studio.
Thank you very much.
We look forward to having you back again as our guest. And that ends our episode for this week. Thank you very much. Keep on watching Islamic Finance at the Capital.